Hello, this is Michelle with markermichelle.com and welcome to your second video. Today we are going to go over buying a domain name, finding hosting for your website, and then we're going to go over creating a website and creating a sales funnel for your products. So let's get right to it. There are dozens of places where you can buy a domain name. But we know GoDaddy pretty well, and it's really easy to navigate around GoDaddy. So we're going to use that for our training purposes today. So let's stick with Google Sniper and say we're going to create a website around selling the product GoSniper. So let's see if we could figure out a domain name that includes Google Sniper in the name and see if it's available. So let's try buygooglesniper.com. Oops. Wow. Okay, it's taken. So one thing you can do is it gives you some other options here. You can use bygooglesniper.info, .net, .co, .guru, .domains, .tips, all of this stuff. Let's try and figure out another name. How about, let's try getgooglesniper.com. And that's taken too. Okay. Learn about googlesniper.com. Okay, there we go. So it's available. And it is $9.99 a year. So if you choose to have the 1-year plan and pay by year, then it will expire today, 1 year from now. You can also choose to pay every 2 years, 5 years, 10 years. It's completely up to you. However much you want to pay and not have to renew every year, or, whatever. Okay, so for an additional $17, you have the option of also adding learn about googlesniper.net, .org, and .info. Okay, so for right now, we're just going to choose .com. We're going to select it, and then we're going to continue to cart. Now, the first thing it's going to ask you is, do you want to protect your personal information? And the reason why it's asking you that is because there is a directory out there called whois.com. Now, this was really popular 5-10 years ago. I don't hear of anybody using this anymore. So protecting your privacy on here is completely up to you at this point. If you are strapped for cash, you might not want to pay out an additional $8 a year. It's completely up to you, but let me show you, let me put in our domain name and show you the kind of information that comes up. So basically it's saying we bought it from GoDaddy, HostGator is our host, and here is all of our contact information. It's got our name, our address, our phone number, our email, pretty much anything anybody needs to get a hold of us. So you can choose to protect your information. I forget what they put there instead of your information. And I'm trying to think of a website that I can plug in to see if they have hidden their privacy. I can't really think of any off the top of my head. Surely companies will not hide their information because they want people to find their information. But anyway, that is the Whois directory, and again, it is completely up to you as to whether you want to protect your information. But that is why that's asking that. Okay, number 2 is if you want GoDaddy to help you build your, you build your own website, but it is included in a package, or and hosting, or if you want just the hosting package. There are lots of hosting sites out there, and I'm going to show you HostGator. So you can not choose it right now and always go back and add it later. It's completely up to you. We're not going to choose it right now because I'm going to show you HostGator. And real quick, what hosting is, it's like your office space. The host for your website is like the space in your office, and the equipment and furniture and products is your actual website. So your website is your actual thing that you put into the space of the host. Okay? Without a host, your website is not going to run because it has no place to go. So we'll go over that in a minute. And then step 3 here is going to ask you if you want to add an email to your domain. And I highly suggest that, because let's say you are sending your customers an email or a newsletter about new products or discounts or sales that you've got coming up, and you send them from an email address such as mark@yahoo.com or Hotmail, Gmail, AOL, any of those, and you will more than likely get into their spam folder. It's hard to get into somebody's inbox, and it's easier to do that if you use a domain name email. So if you used, I forgot the email we just got, if you used mark@learnaboutgooglesniper.com, you're more than likely going to hit their inbox as opposed to their spam folder. So that's why I suggest that you add an email to your domain. And then you're going to click Continue to Cart. And then this is where you're going to choose 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, 10 years. In this drop-down box, it's going to ask if you want to add some more stuff there. We do not, so we're just going to go and check out. I'm not actually going to purchase it. So let me now take you to HostGator to show you. HostGator right now is actually having a sale on their hosting package starting at $3.96 a month. But they also have other packages here for $19.96 a month, $11.97 a month, or even $105 a month. I'm sure that's for larger businesses than what we're going to have for affiliate marketing. So let's say you decide that HostGator is going to be your host service. So you're going to get an email from HostGator, and they're going to have name server information in your email. So what you're going to do is you're going to save that email. You're going to go and log into GoDaddy or wherever you get your domain name from, and you're going to put that hosting information into your domain that you just purchased. Now, I did not purchase Learn About Googlesniper.com, so I'm going to just show you from one of my other domains. And it would be right here under name servers. So there would be nothing here. So you would click manage or add. I'm not sure exactly. I don't remember what it says. And then there would be nothing here again. So in that email from HostGator, you would go down to the first name server address. You're going to copy that address and you're going to paste it on number 1. And then you're going to go back to the email, grab number 2, copy and paste it here. Okay? And then you're going to click save, and then you've got your website hosted, and it can go live as soon as you create it. Okay? So that is the name, domain, and hosting. And so let's go to creating our website. There are lots of options on how you create your website. And if you do not know HTML or any of those coding things on how to create a website from scratch, that's fine, because there are lots of other places that you can go that you can create a website pretty easily. Now there's WordPress, and WordPress, I think, to build a website and have it hosted, it is a paid service, but I'm not sure, but I believe it is for WordPress. There are places like Leadpages, some autoresponders, which you're going to need an autoresponder for your sales funnels, and we'll go over that. Some autoresponders also have landing page creators or website creators built in, and I will show you that through our autoresponder when we go over that, the funnel. So what we use is Leadpages, and the reason why we use Leadpages is because they have already made templates that you can use, and they are proven templates, proven to convert. And what that means is if you are using it for a capture page, that is where people will go and they enter their email so that they can get your information. So conversions mean the more people go to your site, it's the more of them that opt in. And if you are just creating a website like you would through WordPress or any other platform without using a template that is not proven, you don't know how your website's going to actually do. But these templates are proven, and I love them. And the response that we've got from them are huge. It is a paid service, but you can pay it monthly as low as, I believe, $25 a month. And so we love Leadpages. And every one of these templates are 100% customizable. So what we are actually going to do is we're going to separate them or sort them by conversion rate, which means this is the most converting website template they have. This is the second converting. This is the third converting, and so on. And we're going to create an opt-in page, which is also called a capture page, which is also called a landing page. Unfortunately, there are numerous terms for certain things in this kind of industry. And so we're going to click on opt-in, and then we're going to choose our website. And we're going to just create a really simple one right now. You might have a little bit more in-depth kind of website if you have like an Amazon or an eBay kind of store that you're going to create. So we're going to just choose this one right now. And Leadpages wants to know, to keep track of how these pages perform, they want to know what you're going to use it for. So we're just going to keep it as marketing, and we're going to save and continue. And then it's going to load our template for us, and we can go ahead and customize it. Okay, so like I said, everything here is 100% customizable. We're going to change this up here. Given the fact that I know absolutely nothing about Google Sniper, I'm just going to make this stuff up. So get your Google Sniper today. A lot of these websites, they have copy that's pre-written, and you want to kind of stay within what they have written, but yet adjust it to your product or service, because again, they have professional copywriters that write this kind of stuff. Obviously, this is just telling you that your visitor has landed on this page for a reason. So whatever you're offering, they're at least a little bit interested. So instead of writing an essay about your product or service or offer, then just give them a teaser copy. Okay, so you can just highlight this and then, you know, type in anything about your product. Google Sniper, and I have no idea about Google Sniper. So, and then we can change this title here and say, the best for your money. Okay. Here, if you want to replace it and put your logo, then you can just click it, and then you can load a picture of your logo and then paste it on there. Now this is the opt-in box. It doesn't look like your typical opt-in box with the box that says give me your name and your address, your email address. This is called a two-step opt-in, and it's actually better to interact with your customers this way. They don't see that intimidating give me your name and email address right away box. So you have them click on a button that they see, and that's when they're going to enter the email address. But right now we're just going to customize this headline here, and we'll say opt in for discounts. And again, okay, sign me up can also be changed, the wording. We can hide this down here if we'd like, and that's just the click in the wheel and click and hide. It takes it away. You can get it right back again by going over here and clicking the eye again so we can see it. Okay. So we're going to customize this button. So we're going to click on it. And here is where they enter their name and email address. Again, this is customizable here. So let's change it to get Google Sniper discounts weekly. And we can put a picture here. So we'll just click on it and select a picture. And then click OK. Now, what's great about Leadpages is that they integrate with a whole bunch of different autoresponder services. So we use GetResponse, and we need to integrate that with GetResponse. So we choose GetResponse, and then we choose the campaign that we want to use for our product page here. And again, that campaign is going to be your sales funnel, which we have not created yet. So you can just pick one or go to GetResponse and create one real quick and then come back and choose it here. But for right now, we're just going to choose it. Choose online business course. You can choose to integrate it with Facebook, webinar host, or lead notifications, but we're not going to do that. So we're going to click customize this form. So for our purposes, we're just going to leave the email address there. We're not going to ask for anything else. We really don't need anything else. And actually, it has been proven that if people see that they need to also give you their name, they are more likely not to opt in at all. So asking for their name kind of will hurt your chances of getting that opt-in. So we're not going to ask for the name. We're just going to ask for the email. But if you did want the name, you would just click on name and it would add it. And if you want the name on top, you would just click and move it. Okay. You can change what this button says here by going over here and saying, give me my discount. And so we are done with this. And so let's say we are done with our website. It looks the way we want it to look and says what we want it to say, and we're going to name it now. So we're going to name it Google Sniper. Okay. As you notice, as I type down here, it's going to say Google Sniper, and we can change this and make it say something else. So we're just going to say GS. Oh, that's already in use. We used it already. So I used it in another training. So what are we going to say? Sniper. Okay. And then you can choose SEO tags. That means if you want your page to come up in searches like Google search or whatever. So we're just going to say Google Sniper. And then you can give it description and keywords, but we're not going to do that right now. And again, another option is tracking codes, which is it's a more in-depth training that I'll go over in another course. And exit pop, which means if somebody lands on your page and they decide not to opt into your page and get your information, and they go to click out, there will be a box that pops up and says, wait. Are you sure you don't want to check out Google Sniper? And it'll give a little bit of information, whatever you want to include in that box. And it is actually proven that 600% more likely to have people go back and actually opt into your page. So So that's the exit pop. We're not going to do that right now, but just wanted to go over that with you. So we're going to save it, and then we're going to publish it. First, we got to save it, and it's going to pop back up with the template. And then we're going to click publish, and that's going to take a minute, but you have an option to publish your website that you just created to WordPress, if that's what you were using to host your websites. You can publish it to Facebook, and it'll come up as another tab under your Facebook profile. You can publish it to your own place, like if you had HostGator and you wanted HostGator to publish it for you, you could publish it there, or you can actually use Leadpages, and that is included in the monthly service. And so that's what we use. We use Leadpages to host our websites, and it's really easy. You don't have to do anything. You just click done when it pops up. So we're waiting for it to pop up. Give it another second. After this, I want to show you an easy way to actually forward and mask your domain name to the domain that you just purchased from GoDaddy, and you can have it go to this page without it saying markandmichelle.leadpages.net/sniper. It'll say learn about googlesniper.com. Okay, so here's where you would choose Leadpages, WordPress, Facebook, or your own server. But again, like I said, we're going to use Leadpages, so we're just going to click done. Okay, so we're going to get out of that, and we're going to go back to GoDaddy because I'm going to show you real quick, and it's a really good skill to have because we have a blog, and the blog is a really long domain name. So what we have is we have our blog being forwarded to markandmichelle.com. And that way, people don't have to remember the long blog name. They just have to remember markandmichelle.com. So let's go to one of our, let's try newbeginningpart2.com. I actually don't think that's being used right now. And it's not. So we can choose to have it forward. And so we would click add forwarding. And this is where we would put the URL of the long name that we want to shorten by using our domain name that we already purchased. So let's say it was markandmichelle.leadpages.net/sniper. Okay. And we're going to go down here. We're going to choose forward with masking. And we don't have to fill out any of this other stuff. But then we would click add. And that way, when anybody typed in this instance, newbeginningpart2.com, then they would go to the website we just created in Leadpages. Okay? I'm not actually going to do it right now, but that's a really good thing to have to use and utilize. It's especially if you want to mask a domain, like if you're going to do Facebook ads, they don't like it going to specific URLs, so you can just forward and mask it so that it just looks like it's going to a specific URL when it's actually forwarding, but they can't see that. So let's just look up our website and see our website we just created. Sniper. And there it is. Okay, so the last thing we're going to go over is sales funnels. And what a sales funnel is, and I'm going to go to our autoresponder, and we use GetResponse. There's a lot of them out there. We just like GetResponse. It comes with our business. And a sales funnel is, let's say you have several different price products. You have a smaller price product and a medium-sized price product, and let's say a higher price product. And so you would start selling your new emails on the smaller price product. And once they purchase that, then they would automatically move into another email campaign that starts selling them for the medium-sized product. And then once they purchase that, they'll move into the larger campaign for the higher price product. And so that's a sales funnel. Oh, I'm already logged in. Okay. So in GetResponse here, we would create a campaign. And I have already created a campaign here, but we would go up here and create campaign and then type in the name that we want. There are no spaces in the names, so you need to use underscore. And obviously Google Sniper was taken, so we had to do Google underscore Sniper underscore 5. Okay, and that's our campaign. So we'll go there and we'll manage the autoresponder. And this is where we would put our email addresses that we would create. So on day 0, that means that as soon as the person signs up on your opt-in page, then they would immediately get an email from this autoresponder talking about your products and the benefits of your products, the features of your products, why they want the product, all that stuff. And then day 1, day 2, day 3, you can schedule to have your emails go out at a certain time if you want. And you can have as many emails on as many days as you like. You can add more days by clicking here. I'm not going to go over creating one right now. I might do that in a later training. But remember when I said when we were creating our website that some autoresponders let you create websites with their service, and this one actually does too. So I have some websites that I've already created before I got Leadpages, and let me just show you one real quick. Let's see. That's just one real quick that we had created. Again, it's one where we create ourselves. There was no template. You don't know how it's going to convert. This actually was a thank you page, so I don't have to worry about conversions for this one. But anyway, just wanted to show you that. So that is what a sales funnel is. We got a domain name, we got hosting for it, we created a website, and now we went over sales funnels. So in the next training, we are going to go over, let me get my sheet here. We are going to go over autoresponders again real quick. And then we're going to go over setting up a shopping cart for your website and people to buy your products. Then we're going to go over creating sales videos and some marketing tips. Okay, so definitely tune in for that. I will talk to you on the next training. Underneath this video, there is a button where you have the option of checking out Leadpages, so definitely do that. I really recommend Leadpages, and I will talk to you on the next training. Have a good rest of your day.